door. Welcome to PR Development Reception. These are the information and of course the bell. Look, Martin's in here. How you doing, Martin?
Bit warm in here.
Yeah. What about this heat wave, huh? Yeah.
36 degrees, I think.
Yeah, that's enormous. Well, this is how the reception looks like from PRD. Actually looks pretty tidy, not too bad.
It has its moments. That should be here, but there's not had a chance to move it yet.
Yeah.
But obviously I should have a nice little display cabinet in there. Eventually, when I get time, I've got so much work to do at the moment, but how it is.
Yeah. Supply chain issues makes it take everything so much long. We had the same issue in the Netherlands.
Although this is the office, it's also the engine building room, being the cleanest and the easiest to work with, so
yeah. And
comfy.
And cool. So now we're entering the workspace. Now we have two more cars to go actually. You see one behind you?
Yeah.
The blurple DIMMA, which we already talked about with the engine, the crate engine, which I think is very awesome. So Martin, not sure what this customer wants, but it looks like he has a pretty fruity idea for what it's going to be. Explain.
It's been a bit of an evolution, this one, so to speak. It's come in with an engine conversion, which we chose the Renault engine again. There was a bit of welding doing, which was I say this underestimation really. The whole floor has been replaced. Unfortunately, I can't show you because I've just literally thrown all the boxes in. But the whole floor has been replaced. I've had to make all the panels. I don't like cutting up other 205s and using cuts, as people say. I like to put new steel in there.
Yeah, I can see that the shape over here is a little bit different.
You can see the lines still in it. Yeah, I've just still got to comb through that. It's going to be wrapped. It's been wrapped underneath. It's all like new underneath. In fact, it's going to be wrapped from the inside as well.
Yeah.
So it's got all custom seat rails in there, which is 10 times stronger. It's been seam welded as well. That's obviously, it was all separated from the fuel tank section to the floor, and the same as the bulkhead to the floor. It's all been repaired around here. There's a big hole here, it's had to be repaired.
Oh yeah. This one needs to be touched up a little, but we're not finished. We're not finished.
Outside yet. There's a huge hole in here which has had to be welded up. Again, it needs a bit of a skim, cleaned up. I just sprayed it just so it's in a primer. And then obviously we come back to do your details later.
Yeah.
Still a bit of welding to do. We've got to do obviously strengthening plates on here. We've been a bit more heavier engine on the front. Custom subframe because obviously the gearbox hits it. That's all been strengthened. You can see the bigger anti-roll bar on the front. That's for the.
It looks really nice. This subframe.
So there's going to be, although there's the wishbones off the twin engine. It's basically the twin engines suspension setup wasn't really ideal for what we were running on the Megane. So we're going to keep the subframe in there. We're going to have some custom wishbones, which are basically some of these, to bring out the width and make them adjustable. Bring the wheels forward slightly, about an inch, to give a bit more.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
And a bit more caster rather than changing it here, because obviously it brings the wheel backwards. So we'll be doing a bit of both to give you a bit more. Obviously this front end's been done as well, which unfortunately, if you look down here, you have your radiators here. And then obviously you've got the charge cooler just behind the radiator as well.
I think I can squeeze the camera in there. Look, you can see it here. That was the charge cooler?
That's the charge
That's the radiator.
Well, when I say charge cooler, that's the charge cooler radiator, which is just literally held in.
Yeah.
And then obviously the radiator's down at the bottom. Again, we're going for a charge cooler here in this section. The battery we're going to the rear to keep the weight to the back. We were going to take this to the back as well to keep more weight at the back, but the extra piping and extra water was not worth the extra weight at the back, so we have to move a few things around.
Yeah.
So the brake system again is very similar to the twin. You've probably heard enough of this already. So basically we have a bar what goes from this end to the other, and that's where the servo goes. Gives us lots of space. I mean, we don't need any space, but for the sake of putting a bigger servo in there, it hits obviously under the chassis rails. And then obviously we've got a bit more space for the turbo and a bit more cooling, and obviously pipe work. We can even put the battery down there if we really wanted to, so there's plenty of space in there. So yeah, you've got a light and flywheel, brand new clutch in there. I'm going to have to custom some drive shafts Hopefully we can get Satchel engineering to do those dry shafts, to do a 605 CV conversion on these dry shafts, so hopefully they could do that for us. And then obviously once we've got all the engineering done, or so all the welding done, we can paint it, paint the interior, put the seats in. It's had quite a substantial fuel system placed in.
Yeah.
You might be able to show it underneath. So obviously we've got hoses coming out with a pre-filter.
Yep.
They disappear through the floor. Just stick the camera underneath.
Well, you see on here, oh, these are just hoses, there's nothing. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so let me move this for you. Let me just move this. If I can.
Yeah, the engine stand is on it. Oh my goodness, it looks beautiful under here.
Yeah, it's all brand new.
Yeah.
All new beam, new brake hoses.
Oh, you even have the swirl pot underneath.
Underneath, yeah. I don't like putting anything inside the car.
Yeah, I get that. Especially if this is a road car. This, right?
Yeah, you don't want no smell of fuel. So we've got proper PCFE lined hoses in there. Admittedly, you might think, well, that's going against the system, but unfortunately, we didn't want that underneath. And we wanted to put a sensor on there, and obviously see what pressures are as well.
Yeah.
So,
Not very practical having it underneath.
no, but we could put that in the engine bay, but then we would have two pipes running back, and it was going to be hidden, the pipes around the fuel tank, but the access was pretty poor and the spacing was pretty poor as well. With the exhaust being 3-inch, it would be basically not very wise to put it down the centre. Don't like having fuel lines underneath the car, unless the steel ones. These, you get anything in between them, they get ripped off, and I've seen some pretty nasty accidents with fuel hoses, especially with AM ones. So we ran it through on the passenger side, and there's no problems there, no smells. So it's just a case of routing it through to the front of the car then.
Yeah.
So there'll be a filter in the front, and then it's obviously a dead stop again on the injector rail.
Yeah. It already looks pretty cool. I really love this color. And personally, I really like the wheels, even though they have a reputation, these wheels, but you know.
Yeah, 309 rear beam.
Also, yeah, you just want to talk about the wheels.
Yeah, they are image wheels. They're not the original. Well, I say the original. They have changed over the years.
Yeah.
These have been back from the. I mean, this was built in the 90s.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been studied.
The original 3-piece or 2-piece DIMMA wheels are no longer being made for years ago.
They're still making them.
Really?
These are 3-piece wheels.
Alright.
They're all 3-piece. So you got an inner and outer, and then you got your centre aluminium part. Yeah, they're fairly expensive.
I think they look great though, but yeah.
Yeah, need a lot of work. Like I say, he's had this car on his driveway, grass growing through the floor, for like 7 years. And then obviously found out what I was doing, and then it's been with me now for 1.5 years. He keeps saying to me he's in no rush, but I am, unfortunately. It's obviously got an aluminium cage to go in, which...
We just moved on the roof. It's on the roof.
Yeah, so there's an aluminium cage to go in there, which I believe...
And for your information, aluminium cage is totally legal for the road, but illegal for competition or something.
As I know, what I've been told, I mean, I don't stick my head in books. It's one of those. It's only until I come to do something I find that out. You can see there's the bar there.
Oh yeah.
This car came with about 50 boxes of stuff, and now it's got about 50, 60 boxes of stuff. So again, this is all going to be sandblasted and then painted, and that converts the brakes to the other side. That would go down here like that. So that goes like that. I'll obviously make a better mount.
Yeah, it's a unique product for the UK market.
It's the same what I did with the twin. I mean, different to you. Obviously, you've got your brake servo and the driver on that side already.
Yeah.
So make yourself lucky. There's a whole lot of wiring we need to either repair, or I would like to bin and start again. But it depends on budget really. You can see there's boxes and boxes of this stuff. Yeah, I'm tripping over it half the time. So another quick one, and another reason why I go to a brake system. This is obviously, you can see this is at a slight angle because obviously the bulkhead isn't perfectly straight, so it's not that I've welded it on the straight. It had to be like this. So strengthen it up with a plate, and then obviously that's the converter with the linkage in there. And obviously another reason why I do this is when you put the servo on here on a normal 205, you can't put your brake, your clutch master cylinder in there, and obviously I just need to put a bolt in there, SI bolt and a stud, and then obviously that's your clutch. So it's right in the very limit.
Oh yeah.
So no, I'm talking bollocks again. There's another pedal. Here we go. It's a bit warm in here. I'm sweating.
Yeah, you probably don't see it, but we're pretty hot.
Yeah.
Mistakes are made easily right now.
These 2 days I've had off. It's one of those. So obviously that's the pedal goes in there.
Yeah.
And that connects on there. So that's the clutch pedal. So it all works.
And the plastic little thing, that's enough?
Yeah, massively. I mean, this is all plastic as well. It's
Damn.
crazy. And again, the worst case scenario.
So this is how you convert a cable clutch to a hydraulic clutch.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Are those like Renault parts?
yes.
The Renault parts.
So I didn't want to overcomplicate it, then having to then match and sizes and master and slave. We use all the original Renault, and then we just adapt it to the box.
You might have to do a conversion for me, because you seen mine one, right? Really different. Works fine, it's just not very pleasant.
Yeah, we'll have to see what the stroke is and then the ratio of the pedal. You might
Same, I used the stock pedal box.
Yeah, so it still has to work that one out. Every car is different.
Yeah.
The V6 was very different, bit different to the twin. I had 2 of them in there, and a pedal you had to stand on virtually.
Same.
Start's not great. So. Yeah. But this with the Meggy's the same, very similar setup, but I made it adjustable. Obviously, it's a whole different ball game together. I basically built a new pedal box with all pedals, which are perfectly horizontal, so it's vertical, rather than these which are pretty much everywhere. So yeah, but we're getting there. It's work in progress.
Exactly.
Working on
Hopefully this will be finished this year, who knows, but
yeah.
need to get out of here, but still got stuff to do.
Yeah, I need it this year, dude.
Yeah.
I won't be painting the outside of it because it would obviously drag on for another 6 months waiting for the good weather.
And you're not really a painter.
I can paint, but in my own time, and I wouldn't want to do it as a company. I would spend too long doing it, and it'd be far too expensive as well. So there's better people out there who can do it quicker than me, and obviously with better space as well. So.
Yeah, exactly. Not really the best paint boot for like full body respace. For this, that's fine, probably. But yeah, this is the Renault swapped Peugeot 205 DIMMA, which is I think pretty cool, pretty awesome. And let's go to the other, let's say famous, infamous, let's say that.
Call it whatever you like. I've had many things called me over this. This has gone on for a long time.